James Anderson, Carolina Panther linebacker, in studio with us for the next hour. We'll talk with James about this coming season, what he's doing in the off season, and a nice honor from the folks at Bloomberg, talking about powerful, influential sports athletes. And he's in the top 100. That's pretty impressive. As this kid kind of develops, defense is going to have to step up, make some plays, and eventually he'll be able to win some games. That guy comes out of the chute and throws for 400 and some yards. Were you shocked?
Well, not at all. I saw the guy working out some in the off season, and then seeing him in training camp and in practice. I said, look, the guy has all the tools to be special, to be great. And the one thing he has that most guys don't have, he's 6'5", 250 pounds, and run just as fast as a DB. So when you got that size and the defense has to account for your ability to run as well as throw, that adds an extra thing to it. And then he comes in with the accuracy and to be able to make those kind of decisions game time. It shows a lot for him.
Now, so the season gets underway, and within a couple of weeks, you lose John Beeson and Thomas Davis. What are you thinking?
Boy. Well, for us in the NFL, injuries are part of the game, and I'm just thinking, you know what? I don't like to see those guys go down, but that just somebody behind them gets a great opportunity to come in and show the world or show the city of Charlotte, what the name of that back of their jersey means. And
you took advantage of the situation because you're really the leader then. Led the team in tackles. And if people don't know this, I mentioned this at the outset of the broadcast, has now started more games, played linebacker than anybody in the team's history. You come here in 2006, and that was right after the second kind of run that this team had. So there was kind of a little bit of a change over there. It was still a pretty good football team. And then in 2008, you guys go 12-4. You win the division. And then Arizona came to town.
Smashed,
you're still a young guy at that time, and you're starting to play a lot more at this point. The thud. Were you shocked at the way, Jake kind of, it just kind of fell apart for the whole team, really, after that loss because then you opened up against Philly the next year. It was the home opener, and it was the same game. A lot of turnovers. Did that kind of hit you guys over the head? Like, wow, I mean, here we were 12-4. We're thinking we can go to the Super Bowl. And all of a sudden, we're scrambling to win a game.
It just goes to show you that in a given Sunday, Arizona was a team that we had beat earlier this season. We were pretty confident coming in. They had a stat that Arizona had lost 90% of their games when they came to the East Coast. It was like, yeah, they're coming back over here. We're on a high. We're at home. And as you know and as the world knows, things didn't go our way. We had a lot of turnovers. We couldn't get anything, on defense. So it was a tough game for us. And then, to leave a season that way and to come back the next year and start the same way, it was definitely tough. Well, you get a guy in a position that touches the ball every snap. He's a playmaking guy. He's a franchise type of guy. So that's a position. That's why they get paid the money they do. That's why when you win and you lose, that's the name you hear. If we lose, Cam threw 3 picks, or he was on the sideline doing this. And if you win, he's the greatest thing to come to football. So that's the pressure they have. That's why they play that position.
Much is made sometimes of his demeanor on the sidelines with the Gatorade towel over his head. Now we found out why that happened. You got to deal with Gatorade. Actually, I'm just joking. And fans kind of get on him for that. The media would get on him. Even Coach Rivera called him Mr. Mopey Face or something after losses. Did you guys care? Did anybody in that locker room look at him and go, oh, come on, man, you got to, we lost, but be professional, and, this is a business. We got to, get back and play next week.
Yeah, I mean, Smitty and Jordan Gross, some guys, probably had a conversation with him and said, look, this is, when you're in the NFL, this is what's going on. People are looking at more than just what you do on the field. In college, it was all about, if you didn't get in trouble, it was all about what you do on the field. In the NFL, there's, what clothes are you wearing? What you do on the sideline? Is a towel over your face or the back of your neck? So it's a lot more people pay a lot more attention to what you do 24/7 because of the position you're in. So as a defensive player, I could care less if the towel was over his face as long as he went out on the field, performed, and did what he had to do.
Do you think you were evaluated correctly? When all is said and done, James Anderson, I mean, what do you think? Yeah, they pretty much had me pegged, or what do you think?
I think some people, were correct in some things, and some people were incorrect, obviously. Throughout my career, I've had to prove a lot of people wrong about what they said or to prove them right. So I don't think it's a situation where they had me, nailed on the head 100%, which never is. But some people got pretty close.
All right, let's talk about this team, the mood after the season came to an end. Where do you think this club is right now? Close to making a run at the playoffs? Tough division. And we talked about this in the first hour of the show. You got Drew Brees, you got Matt Ryan, and I'm a big Josh Freeman fan. I think they can get something going there in Tampa. I don't think that season he had 2 years ago was with a fluke. And you got Cam. This is a tough division for quarterbacks and a lot of talent. Where do you think this football team fits in right now?
I think we're on the rise. We're a team that last year was 7 or 8 games. We lost by less than a touchdown, and that was in the last drive, in the last couple of minutes. So you take away the last part of the game, we either win the game or it's a tie. That means you got to continue playing. So I feel like even this year with the injuries we had, with the coaching changes, with the lockout and all that kind of stuff, we're right in the hunt and the thick of things, which isn't always seen because of the score, or which you can't always see because of a win-loss. But as a player, I feel like we're right there. And next year, get some guys back healthy. We get another season on our belt playing together, and we'll be right there where we need to be.
Because of the injuries at the linebacker position, was last year your best year, do you think, so far?
I think it was my best year. I don't know if I'd say it was because of injuries, but I think it was my best year just overall playing the last couple of years.
You were calling the plays, right?
Yes.
All right. What's that like?
It's a little different. For people who don't understand the play caller and what their job is, basically the coach will call in and play to me from the sideline, give me information to relate to different players, all within the 10 or 12 seconds, whatever they have to talk to you. So I have to be able to communicate the play, the checks, the alignments, while I'm trying to survey for myself what the offense is trying to do to me, and while I'm trying to communicate to other guys what I see, all in a matter of a couple seconds. So it's pretty hectic, but it makes you learn a lot. It makes you understand a lot about the game.
How tough was that to adjust to? Did you have trouble early? Because now you got the helmet with the communication, right? I mean, they're talking to you. You can hear them. It's not just signals. You can hear in your head, in your earpiece or whatever, in your helmet, what the call is from the sideline. Did you get a grasp from it right away? Did it take a few games?
Well, in years past, I've had some responsibility making some different checks, but I think this year the biggest thing to grasp was how to control the chaos. Because sometimes you'll get the play call, or if they go up-tempo offense, you're trying to get a call out really fast and try to get everybody to understand what's going on. And you have to have some kind of, it's like the analogy of the duck in the water. You see the calm duck on the top, but on the bottom of his feet going crazy. So I had to learn to balance the craziness of trying to get the play out and get everybody lined up while remaining calm.